Okay, so they had this vendor fair where they have vendors who've got CDs with all the money laundering regulations for the whole federal government on their CDs. So I go to the vendor fair and I talk to one of the vendors and I said, "Can you just look on your software and see who's in charge of stopping money laundering in the mortgage programs? You know, Freddie, Fannie, FHA, Ginnie Mae, Farmers Home, VA, who's in charge?" So he goes in and he does all these searches and he pulls it up and he says, "It's somebody called the Assistant Secretary of Housing, Federal Housing Commission."
Which is you.
Was me. So I said to them, "Well, that's very interesting because, you know, I was the Assistant Secretary of Housing. And one of the first things I did was by my own staff who I brought in and the General Counsel's office, I got a complete briefing on what my legal response, you know, the first thing I did is said, under the law, what am I responsible for? What am I responsible to do? I want to know my legal and financial responsibilities." So that was the first thing I did. I never once heard that I was responsible to stop money laundering in the mortgage programs of the United States. I had no idea that was my scope. But at the Fontainebleau Hotel,
you learned it finally.
I learned. So to tell you that I think the money laundering enforcement in the mortgage area of the United States is extremely lax.
Yes, it sounds like it.